Back in studio with the fellas, and let's work backwards, starting there on the two-point play. I think universally, we love going for two at this point of the season, at this point of the game, a tired defense not coming back out on the field. Mac, take me through what you saw on that last rep. Mariota, just a little bit higher with that football, and you're probably talking about a winner.
It was a great play designed by Cliff Kingsbury when you talk about anticipating Pat's former defensive coordinator, Vance Joseph, bringing pressure. And Hufanga had to try to follow him to get through the traffic to be able to be encouraged. But because of the traffic, you don't stand a chance to get through that traffic jam, to be in a proper position, to be where you need to be. Luckily, Benito was there, high hand, went up and got the deflection, because if he doesn't get the deflection, they win the ball game. Because if you look at the play, there was nothing but open green grass for the running back. I can't remember exactly which back it was, Rodriguez, but he was wide open for the taking. And me and Pat was having the discussion, of course, off camera, talking about what Vance Joseph was going to do. And you said that's something that he oftentimes does in those situations.
Yeah, it was Jeremy McNichols in that route, and it was a perfect design. But in that design, are we looking at something where you aren't accounting for the edge rusher there in Benito and saying, Marcus, you just got to beat him?
For the most part, that defense, I'm not going to say the name of the defense because I know that defense very well.
I mean, 9 times out of 10, he changed the name.
Nah, it's still Reno.
We weren't going to say it.
That's how you get him to say it.
I was going to say it anyway. I don't play anymore. I don't care. But anyway, for that defense, you have to make sure that you're sliding the protection the right way. And the crazy thing about that, the back was far offset, far side of the quarterback.
Side of the play.
I mean, remember back in September, he signed a 4-year, $106 million contract with the Denver Broncos. I don't know that the casual NFL fan knows Nick Benito's name all that well. They should, over this season and certainly moving forward, really get to know him. You're right, Joe. This was not a game that there was a standout pass rush necessarily from Denver. Instead, another great collective effort from the Denver Broncos defense, one of the best in the NFL, not just this season, but last season over the past 2 years. But I will credit Marcus Mariota and the Washington Commanders, who we thought that they were going to lay down. We all very quickly picked the Denver Broncos in this game. We didn't have this coming down, right, to a Nick Benito swatted ball away from all of us being wrong in this, right? And so this was probably one of the better games I've seen Mariota play probably since he left Tennessee. It's been a while since, the way that he was able to hit guys on 3rd and 4th downs. Yeah, there were some fortunate calls and all that stuff. Ultimately, credit to Denver for getting the job done tonight when, maybe the offense let them down again.
Came down to one play, and they make it. The Denver Broncos keep that winning streak alive. Most one-score wins in first 12 games of a season in NFL history. Denver, 8 such wins this season, but they don't ask how, just how many. Back with the fellas to continue the conversation. And JJ, I want to come back to you off a thought that you were sort of delving into there. No style points needed in the NFL. Wins are hard to come by. You take them how you can get them, but you'd like to see some style points in a game like this from the Denver Broncos to make you feel good about them moving forward. What do you take away from this win for Denver?
I do feel better about the Denver Broncos with the way the offense went down the field to start overtime.
Easy button.
Very easy. Now, you're talking about a gassed Washington Commanders defense that looked its age there at the start of overtime. But it made you feel better about the second half that Bo Nix had put together up until that point. Really, the fourth quarter, Bo wasn't that good. And that's been the thing, that Bo Nix, he struggled the first 3 quarters of a game. In that fourth quarter, he can turn it on. And we were waiting on him to kind of turn it on, and it didn't happen. And then finally, they made that drive there at the start of overtime to take the lead that they would ultimately win with. It's going to be hard for the Denver Broncos to run the football because they're missing J.K. Dobbins, right? And they're down to Harvey and McLaughlin. So I fear putting too much stock into Denver because I don't know they're going to be able to run the ball in January. And I don't trust the quarterback. We love the defense, but is the offense going to be able to do enough? They'll do enough, though, to make it to January. There's no question about that.
Do you share that same concern with this team, run game or otherwise, for them to make the plays they need to in the biggest moments of the season that still await?
Yeah, what JJ talked about in terms of what we didn't see in the first 3.5 quarters compared to what we saw in overtime, the biggest difference from what I watched was tempo. They went fast in overtime. His rookie year, he's more of a third down commodity. But he's been called to be an every down back because of the injury to Bo Nix. I mean, they ran the football for 82 yards on the ground. They averaged under 4 yards per toe. They got outrushed by Washington. So when you talk about playoff caliber teams, which the Denver Broncos, they're a playoff caliber team, but having a significant run, you got to be able to run the football in cold climate. And you got to be able to do so in a physical way. And they don't have those dudes because of the loss to JK, with JK.
You think about where the AFC playoffs are largely going to be contested if it stays the way it's looking right now. Either at home, cold games in Denver, the Patriots, top of the conference right now. Tough places to play where you need to pack a run game. If the run game's not there, all the onus falls on the quarterback. And we talked about those first 3, maybe even 4 quarters where struggles for Bo Nix, an interception that you really don't want to see by any year quarterback, but especially your second-year quarterback trying to take the step forward. The highs and lows and the inability to go left, Where are you at right now with Nix? The numbers are going to jump off the page at you out of this one, and he makes the plays in overtime, but it feels like we're still wanting for more.
Yeah, I would like to see more consistency, as far as his decision-making. We know what he can do with the ball in his hands. He's very athletic. He can create extra time, deliver the ball down the field. But the decision-making is what's been holding Bo Nix back. And we know what the defense can do, but sometimes you put that defense in a hard spot.
Yeah. That defense makes the play at the end of the game, but also rendered a little bit ineffective in large swaths of this one, or at least not getting home to Marcus Mariota. This isn't a pass protect group that we're singing about. It's not a quarterback who, at his age, can move like he used to. What was the issue tonight for them?
I don't know, because leading up to the ball game, Joe said they're one of the best defenses in the National Football League. Statistically speaking, we're not going to argue that. I compared them to who? The Houston Texans.
Different neighborhood.
And I said it's a different neighborhood. They had the same HOA fees, but it's a different neighborhood when you look at what Houston has done against the who's of who, right? They come up and they deliver. I think what we saw today was a great game plan by Cliff Kingsbury and great individual performance by Marcus Mariota. Extending plays. Like, he made life difficult for them. He wasn't a sit and duck. He wasn't a stop sign in the backfield. He was moving, and he was needing to do that to be able to keep them on their heels a little bit. But great teams find ways to make great plays, even though they were a bit mediocre, to say the least, up to their standard. And that Nick Bonito deflection was the defining play of the game. So, yeah, they didn't give us the usual concepts, the usual production. But when they needed to make a play, who do you call on? Who do you believe in? Guess who stood up? The big man, money man.
But you remember what I said at the top of the show? Mobile quarterbacks gave this
You said that, yeah.
trouble, and that's what happened again.
And Mariota still has some wheels, right? And so there's that. I also point to the fact that, Zach Ertz has some age on him, and Terry McLaurin has a little age on him. They both combined for 200 receiving yards tonight. And Zach Ertz had a couple of drops that could have been costly, right? Let's just be right. It could have been costly. Traylon Burks, who was left for dead in the NFL, first-round pick for the Tennessee Titans, making that incredible catch. You talk about big players coming up big. I mean, they did compete, and so you do feel good about this if you are the Commander. Yeah, you lost. You haven't won in 2 months. It was October 5th the last time that they won. Okay, they were a play away from winning. But the thing that I'll say here is the guy that we saw on the sideline, not dressed tonight, at least at the end of the game, Jayden Daniels. There's not a ton of reason to go out there and play Jayden Daniels in the rest of this year. The season's lost. You're not making the playoffs. He doesn't really protect himself. All of those things are true. But if you want to build culture, if you want him to continue getting some reps, if you want him to feel like, hey, he's still one of the guys, right, that he's in this with them, this is a very good game. If he comes back the next week, for example, this is a really good game to sort of launch where everybody played hard. And now you can get that boost from him coming back. And if you can end on a